Good morning, Miss Emery's third graders. So we're going to continue our lesson, so I'm going to review our standard right quick. So our standard is use illustrations and text features to deepen understanding and formulate questions to deepen understanding of a topic. And our objectives are identify a central message of the last stop on Market Street, analyze positive cultural representations, use text features to support your thinking, and apply context clues to determine vocabulary meaning. Now, as we started yesterday, we started reading, and we answered the first 3 prompts. Describe what you know about life in a busy city, who helps make a community function smoothly, and how can people in the same place experience it differently. Now, I'm going to pick up where we left off, which was right in the middle of the book. So, I'm going to finish reading this, and then we're going to answer our last 2 sets of prompts. I will go over our anchor chart and your assignment. The bus lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. How come we always gotta go here after church? Miguel and Kobe never have to go nowhere. I feel sorry for those boys, she told him. They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man, and I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat. CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. See, how come that man can't see? Boy, what do you know about seeing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears. That's a fact. Their noses, too, the man said, sniffing the air. That's a mighty fine cream you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. So what a boys got on next? CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in the back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. Nana set down her knitting. What for? You've got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song? CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. To feel the magic of music, the blind man whispered, I like to close my eyes. Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm, and CJ dropped it in the man's hat. The last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus, crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never thought to even look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight and the broken street lamp still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. He thought his Nana might laugh, her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, Me too, CJ. Now come on. The end. So, our last 2 questions, or our last 2 prompts to answer are, what do the pictures show about CJ's community? Well, what I noticed was that the pictures show the amounts of different people and the different walks of life that they come from. For example, the blind man and his guide dog. And what does CJ learn from Nana through the conversation? Well, CJ learns to see the beauty in places that he never thought to look. For example, the side of town where the soup kitchen is, the man with his guitar, and he kind of learns to kind of accept that beauty isn't just in one place. It's wherever you look to find it. And how does the city setting shape CJ's experience? Well, what I noticed was that the city gave him a better kind of view at how the world is and how there are many people that live in one spot and get along pretty well. And one of our vocabulary word questions here: what does grateful mean based on Nana's use of the word? So when Miss Emery thinks of grateful, I think of being appreciative for something that I have. For example, Miss Emery is grateful for her friends, her family, and her pets, because I know that some people don't have that. Now, our last 3 prompts are: what lesson does CJ learn about appreciating his community? Well, we went over that yesterday and you guys threw out some answers. So I made an anchor chart based on our responses. So I'm going to hold it up. So some of the answers we got for the central message, or what does CJ learn about appreciating his community, are finding beauty, gratitude, and helping others. All 3 of those are really good options because he learns, through Nana that beauty is wherever you look. Gratitude is being thankful, and it helps you see the world in a positive light. And helping others. Serving your community brings joy and connection. For example, at the end when he looks through the window and he sees Bobo, the sunglass man, and Miss Trixie, he's like, I'm glad we came. Now, our key details that we went over are: Nana teaches CJ to notice small wonders, and CJ learns that helping others is meaningful and important. Now, this is going to help answer one of our other prompts. We noticed that the bright colors, the warm, bold illustrations show the beauty that Nana sees. For example, the rainbow over the soup kitchen, the encouraging dialogue, so Nana's gentle reminders help CJ shift his perspective, like how he said, how does the blind man see the world if he can't see? Well, through his nose, through his other senses. And the community scenes, the pictures show real people, places, and emotions. And this is for our last prompt: cultural representation. How does the story show the beauty of diverse communities? And the answers we came up with, I really love. Diverse community, people from many backgrounds share the bus and the neighborhood. Urban life, the city is shown as vibrant, connected, and full of everyday beauty. The rainbow over the soup kitchen, CJ understanding that everybody has the same privilege or access to things. Service and kindness, CJ and Nana model giving back to the community when they're helping at the soup kitchen and serving food to the less fortunate. And we came up with the overall message: even ordinary places have beauty if you look with kindness and an open heart. So I think our anchor chart came out amazingly, and we answered our prompts. Now, before I let you all answer your comprehension question sheets, Miss Emery is going to go over our vocab, because some of those words are going to be on your quiz that I'm going to give you here in a moment, and then I will have you work on your comprehension sheets. So, Miss Emery gave everybody a list, so please pull that out. Does everyone have it? Okay, good. So, our first vocabulary word is privilege. And Miss Emery decided to make a little model kind of relating the word to its other portions. So, everyone follow along on your vocab paper. You can either read out loud or read silently as I read, and I will give you an example in real life and from the story. So, the definition of privilege is a special benefit or advantage. Characteristics are unequal access, special treatment, and the examples are having your own phone, for example. If you have a phone and your friend or classmate doesn't, because they can't, they're not allowed to, or they can't afford it. So you having a phone is a privilege compared to what they have. Having extra rewards. So, let's say you and your sibling are told to go clean your room. Well, let's say the younger sibling gets, 2 cookies and you only get one. That's a privilege because your younger sibling is getting an extra cookie while you're only getting one. And some non-examples are being treated fairly. For example, you and your sibling both getting a cookie, or you and your friend both having a phone. Now, an example from the story of privilege is Nana explains that some people don't have the privilege of riding in a car. So that means that, some people don't have that opportunity or the access to be able to own or use one. Our next word is appreciate. So, our definition is to value or enjoy something. Our characteristics of it are respect, gratitude, and awareness. Examples: thanking someone, showing someone kindness, and a non example is complaining or being ungrateful. So, for example, let's say for Christmas you asked for a new toy. Well, let's say you don't get that toy, but you get something else. So, when, you could either complain and be upset, which is understandable to be upset, but you could complain and whine and, it would, have a bad day, or you could appreciate that, someone took the time and thought of you and bought you a toy anyways, rather than, being upset that you didn't get the one you wanted. Now, an example from the story of appreciate is CJ learns to appreciate the music, the people, and the world around him. As you can tell when the young gentleman with the guitar started playing. Our next word is opportunity. The definition is a chance to do something. Characteristics are a possibility or a chance to go or go somewhere or do something. Examples: joining a new club, being given a chance to join a sports team. Some non-examples are not being allowed to try or being denied. And in the story for opportunity, CJ has the opportunity to help at the soup kitchen. And our next word is diverse. Definition: having many types or many differences. Characteristics: variety, mixture, different backgrounds. Examples: classrooms, jobs, neighborhoods. Non examples: conformity, uniform, sameness. So, an example of diverse is our classroom. We are all one family. We all have different backgrounds and different cultures and different beliefs. That's what makes us all diverse. Now, an example from the story is CJ and Anna ride a bus filled with diverse passengers, people of different ages, appearances, jobs, and personalities. For example, the blind man, the elderly woman with the curlers, the young gentleman with the tattoos, the young man with the guitar. Those are all diverse people because they all come from somewhere different. Our next vocab word is grateful. The definition: feeling thankful. Characteristics: positive feelings, appreciation. Examples: saying thank you, feeling lucky to have something. Non-examples: feeling happy or feeling not thankful. So, grateful. If you do celebrate Thanksgiving, a lot of times people ask, what are you grateful for? Well, when I think of grateful, I think of being happy that I have something that I know someone else may not have or, have the access to. So, for example, from the story, CJ becomes grateful for the small things Nana points out on the bus ride. For example, he was upset that he didn't have, I guess, what it was, an iPod or a phone, but he slowly became thankful when the young man with the guitar started playing live music for them. And our next word is community. Definition: a group of people who live or work together. Examples: neighborhoods, schools, offices, sports teams. Characteristics: togetherness, teamwork, unit. Non-examples: isolation. So, An example of community from the story is the bus ride shows CJ the diversity of his community. So community is a group of people that all live and work in the same space. For example, the people on the bus, they all kind of share the same transportation method. They share the same neighborhood, and they all kind of function as one. And our very last vocab word is perspective. A way of seeing or understanding something. Characteristics, opinions, experiences. Examples. Seeing multiple sides to one problem. Non-examples. Seeing only one point of view. For example, from the story, CJ's perspective changes as he notices beauty in everyday places. So, for example, he started off upset that they had to go to the soup kitchen like they normally do every Sunday from what we inferred. And on the bus ride over, Nana helps him kind of understand that, just because, we may not have something or we have to go do something doesn't mean that, it's wrong. It's just our perspective. Now, I'm going to quickly go over our comprehension sheets. So, as you all know, I grouped you in groups 1, 2, and 3. So, group 3, this is your comprehension sheet. You have 14 questions. The last 4 are extra credit. You only have to do 1 through 10. The last 4 you can do if you want extra credit, and I will grade it. Group 2. This is your comprehension worksheet. You have 12 questions. The first 10 are required. You can answer the last 2 if you would like extra credit. And group 3. You have 15 questions. The first 10 are required. You have 5 extra. You can choose to do the extra 5 or you can leave them blank. So, if you are in group 1, I'm going to set you over with Lily. If you are in group 2, you're going to go sit with James. And group 3, you all can work independently or you can form a group together. So, now that everyone has their vocab sheets, I wanted to go over 2 things really quickly. 1, we have a vocab quiz on our words. It is 7 questions. All you have to do is read the sentence, answer the question, and, of course, make sure you read carefully. But Miss Emery is going to go ahead and go over the first 2 with you. So those first 2 will be graded by me. So those first 2 are automatically going to be correct. The other 5 questions are on you. So you will do those independently and turn it in to me at the end of class. I will grade it, but these first 2 are going to be correct. So, does everyone have a pencil? Yes, okay, perfect. Does everyone have their highlighter? Alrighty, perfect. You guys are superstars. You guys are amazing. Okay, so everyone grab your blue highlighter, your pink one. Blue is going to be number 1, and pink is going to be number 2. So put a blue star by number 1 and a pink star by number 2. And go ahead and write on your paper, write your name. And I'm going to write, and so you're going to write 1 and 2, you're going to kind of draw a box. And you're going to write Miss Emery example. So that means I helped you. And so you can already go ahead and put your names and the date. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. So, number 1, let's read the question. So our word for the first question is opportunity. CJ has the opportunity to help at the soup kitchen. What does opportunity mean? So, let's use our context clues. Let's highlight the word opportunity in the sentence and in the question. So, if you studied your definitions, you can infer that opportunity means, and I'm going to read out the answers, and you all will raise your hand. I will pick someone, and we will answer it. So, what does opportunity mean? Answer A, a problem that is hard to solve. Answer B, a chance to do something. Answer C, a rule you must follow. Or answer D, a place you visit every day. Yes, Lily, what do you think the answer is? A chance to do something? Correct. So everyone go ahead and highlight that in blue, please. All right. Question 2. Our word is grateful. So go ahead and highlight grateful in pink. All right. So our sentence is, CJ feels grateful after Nana shows him the beauty in the world. What does grateful mean? I'm going to read out the answer choices and you choose. All right. Answer A, feeling angry about something. Answer B, feeling thankful for something. Answer C, feeling confused about something. Or answer D, feeling tired after a long day. Yes, Riley? No, the answer is not A. Good try, though. I appreciate your effort. Would anyone else like to give a second shot? Yes, James? You think it's answer B, feeling thankful for something? Yes. Good job. You guys are awesome. Now, you all have the last 5 questions to do. So, before that, you all have the journal prompt response. So, I'm going to show you your rubric. And I'm going to give you some examples that your classmates wrote, and I went ahead and graded. I graded some of them, not all of them. So if in your journal you do not have feedback from me, please bring me your journal at the end of class. I will give you time to finish it up if you aren't finished, but at the end of class, please bring me your journal, and I will grade it. So, Lily said the last stop on Market Street is that people should try to see good things around them. One detail is that CJ and Nana ride the bus. Another detail is that they go to the soup kitchen. The pictures were colorful. A cultural example is that CJ sees different people in his neighborhood. So, Lily, I do like your message. It was good. But I would like to meet with you at the round table. So please come over to the table with your stuff, and I will go over it with you. Jordan, his was pretty good too. The central message of Last Stop on Market Street is that you can find beauty and goodness in everyday places. One detail shows this when Nana tells CJ to look for things that make the world bright, even when he feels disappointed. Another detail is when they reach the last stop and help at the soup kitchen, which shows kindness in their community. The illustrations and dialogue help me understand the message because the pictures show colorful people and places, and Nana's words help CJ see things differently. One example of positive cultural representation is the diverse people CJ meets on the bus who come from different backgrounds but share the same community. Jordan, I love your response. There are just a few things I would like to go over with you. So please come to the round table. And then Miss Avery, her response I loved, and she said the central message of Last Stop on Market Street is that people can find beauty, kindness, and value in everyday places. One detail that supports this message is when Nana reminds CJ to notice the good things around him, even when he feels disappointed. Another detail is when they arrive at the soup kitchen and help serve others, showing that giving back is an important part of their community. The illustrations and dialogue help me understand the message because the bright colors and Nana's encouraging words showed how she sees the world in a positive way. A strong example of positive cultural representation is the diverse group of people CJ meets on the bus, which shows that his community includes many different backgrounds working and living together. Avery, spot on. I love your message. There's just a few things I would like to go over with you. Please come over to the table with Jordan and Lily. Riley turned in hers yesterday as well. Riley said the central message of Last Stop on Market Street is that true beauty and joy come from noticing the world around you and helping others even when life feels bare. One key detail that supports this message is when Nana gently challenges CJ's complaints by pointing out all the small wonders he overlooks, like the rainbow and the puddle and the music on the bus. Another important detail is when CJ and Nana volunteer at the soup kitchen, showing that kindness and service can make a community stronger. The illustrations and dialogue deepen this message because the bright, warm colors and Nana's thoughtful words help readers see the world the way she does, with gratitude and curiosity. A powerful example of positive cultural representation is the diverse people CJ meets on the bus who come from different backgrounds and experiences, but share the same space with respect and connection, showing the richness of his community. Riley, I loved your response. It was spot on. But please come to the round table. I would like your insight on how you got your response. But it would be appreciated if you would come sit over here with the others. So, the last thing Miss Emery wants to go over is we're going to answer 2 comprehension questions from Group 1 and Group 2 sheet. So, Group 1, who are the 2 main characters in the story? CJ and Nana. Correct. Thank you. Now, where do CJ and Nana go after church? Yes, Jordan? Yes, they do go to the soup kitchen. Good job. All right. Next question. This is for Group 2. Why does CJ feel disappointed when he leaves church? Yes, Isabel? Okay. So, because he has to go to the soup kitchen? That's a good inference. Perfect. You are awesome. All right. And our next question is, I'm going to pick a random one out of order. So, we're going to pick an interesting one. What does the story show about helping others? And I will help you guys answer this one. So, it shows that helping others is a good thing. All right. So, now that I have everybody, they answered their questions, and you all have your vocab quiz to finish. Your journal prompt if you did not turn it into me yesterday, and your vocab reading, and like I said, your journal prompts. The deadline for your journal prompt is going to be at the end of class today. It is only 1 paragraph, so 5 sentences, and make sure it's descriptive. You have the prompt on your table along with your rubrics. So before you turn it in, please bring your rubric with it. So that way I can grade it without having to search for the rubric. Now, the last thing before I turn you all loose is you may work in groups, but please use an appropriate volume. That's all I ask. But yes, turn in your journal at the end of class, finish your responses, and work quietly.